Good morning, everyone. Welcome. And it is Friday. Yay! And I'm by myself.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We'll look over here. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Chris.
Hello.
And good morning, Kathy. And Rhonda's back there. Good morning, Donna. And Teresa is back. Good morning. And Maggie should be. Here we go. Maggie here. And yep, go ahead and turn your microphone on, Maggie. And I had a pure panic attack because I was missing a piece to plug in the receiver. So
yes, she was.
Yeah. But I have to get my notes out again, and it's me again. So yay. And I have notes from Kelly and notes from my mind, so just hang in there.
All right.
So,
good morning to all of our friends.
Yes, all of our friends, and Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And the reason we say Merry Christmas is because we are doing Christmas in July. And just a quick reminder, our select Christmas is still 40% off, and our zipper bags are $1. And phones are ringing already. I love it.
Very good.
All right. I do need to give out a huge thank you to all the staff this week. Life happened. People got sick. People went on vacation. People were on vacation. Things came up. And so thank you to the staff that has really pulled up behind me and helped me out this week and so forth. It's been absolutely amazing. And thank you. And one thing I want to show, Maggie, is Janine, look at this aisle. This is our sports aisle, and we got all that paper in, I believe, on Tuesday that we showed with Reminisce, and Janine worked it all in. Isn't it just beautiful?
Wow, it's very nice.
We have from athlete to zip lining, from A to Z, and everything in between.
It's all in ABC order.
Yes.
We even have trap shoot, Katie.
Everything in between.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just showing some of the labels here.
Yes. And pickleball, that's a big new one. But I also wanted to show, we have a huge thing going on in Iowa. And next week is Ragbri.
And it's coming through Ankeny.
It's coming through Ankeny, yes. And they are actually coming through the center of town, so it will be split the east side and west side. The store's on the east side. I live on the west side. And Maggie, I'm going to have to go all the way, like, to Merle Hay. And get
I was
on the
wondering about that.
And come all the way around because I can't get
I would not
across.
be able to. I don't work Wednesday.
Oh, you
thank
wouldn't be
goodness,
able to.
because
oh gosh, you'd have to go all the way out.
yes, there's no way I would
you be
have
able to
gotten
get
in
through.
here.
Yeah. So that will be fun, but it's an exciting time. And so why don't we show some of our biking papers real quick?
That's a great idea.
So maybe you ride a mountain bike. Life is better biking. Cycling. There's this. And that. I have so much going on here, Maggie. I'm just going to put those up there.
Well, so far we don't have any mountains and we can't cycle.
It's perfect. There we go.
There.
How about bikes?
So anybody that is going on Ragbri, you're going to want to see some of these papers.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yes.
And the roads are closed like from 9 to 5 they come from Ames, which is about 20 miles north of us, and they drive through here. And Ankeny is a meeting place, and a meeting place means that's where you can actually meet with your car if you have to change tires and so forth. So Ankeny is a meeting place, and then they head to Des Moines. So
and I heard anywhere between 70 and 100,000 bikers.
Oh my gosh! Have you have done it? But that's a story for another day.
Yes, back
it?
in 1976.
So that's another biking. Or cycling,
It's Ragbri. It stands for Register's Annual Great Bike Ride Across Iowa.
Yeah. So what you do is you start on the west side of the state and you put your tire in which river?
The Missouri.
The Missouri River, and then you ride all the way across the state, and then on the following Sunday you put your tire in the Mississippi River.
Mississippi River.
So you went all the way across.
This is the 50th year.
Is it 50
It
years?
started in
doing
1973 by a couple Des Moines Register.
The Register was the paper.
Reporters, yes.
Yeah, it was the newspaper.
And they're the ones who started it, and it started out with maybe a few hundred writers.
Yes, it's huge.
And now it's huge.
Yeah, and people from different countries come in to do RAGBRAI. It's a lot of fun. So again, shout out to Janine for making this and so easy to find the cycling section. And then let me see what else
Kim says she's the starting point in Sioux City. You are, Kim.
Oh yeah, you would be. Do you go out and watch them dip their tire? I think that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? All right, I'm going to put that one away because I have those notes taken care of. Yesterday, I have some new friends coming in, Maggie. We have fun new friends. And I have to tell you, they were from Phoenix and from Louisiana. And what cracked me up is that they were like, oh, it's just so nice here. The weather is just so refreshing. And we're thinking, oh my gosh, it's so hot and humid here. When it was just, it's so hot down in Phoenix and so forth. And the girls from Phoenix were so funny. They they drove by because they thought, what's in Ankeny, Iowa, you know? So they drove by, they said they sat in the parking lot a little bit and said, do you think we should go in? Should we? Well, they go, well, you know, we're here, let's go in. It's going to take 5-10 minutes, we'll just go in. And they walked in and they both stood there and went, oh my gosh. And they have just discovered 49 and Market, and our front is the Gardenia collection. And they were just so excited. So I just want to give a shout out and so happy that they found us. And then they were also so excited like to see what were available and that we have our online shop too. So that was exciting. They're going to do some online shopping, they said.
So they can shop in the middle of the night, can't they?
They can. And they don't, in the heat, they have to stay in because of the heat down in Phoenix. And so they could stay inside and shop. Yes. Yeah. And so yes, our online store, remember, is open 24/7. You'll be wanting to check out the, I'm going to start walking this way.
And everything you see in the store, almost everything is online, isn't it, Katie?
Yeah, which is amazing. And you want to check out our new stuff because we have so much new stuff online. And speaking of new stuff, should we head over there?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just going to say a quick thing about Merrymakers. And I have to thank a customer. I have been saying that I have been saying, oh my gosh, my notes. That Merrymakers is the 9th, 10th, and 11th. That would be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is not that. It's the 10, 11, 12. So hopefully that will make a difference. Of November, yeah. Because November is closer to December.
So Merrymakers is over a weekend, but
yes.
Scary Makers is over a week.
Yes, thank you. And that's September 11th through the 15th. But no one had mentioned that I've been saying the date wrong all week. So thank you so much for not, but
I heard you, but I didn't have a calendar handy,
yeah.
So whatever you said, I figured was right.
Someone did say it, and Janine, she's so nice. Katie, I think you have the dates wrong. Can you see her say that? I'm like, Janine, why did you say anything?
Well, now, here's what I say. If Katie says it or Facebook says it, it must be true.
Yeah, there you go. Because everything on the internet is true, isn't it? All right. But thank you so much for all your excitement for Merrymakers, too. And again, thank you for your patience this week to our customers. Their patience. We're swamped yesterday, which was so fun. And thank you just for your patience of... with a little bit of, do I want to say staff shortage?
Oh, you were fine.
So now, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I mean, a huge shout out to staff and a huge shout out to customers too.
So Katie, I hear that we have a little bit of a sneak preview for Scary Makers today.
Oh, well.
Oh, somebody wants to know what Scary Makers is. Before we show a little sneak preview,
okay,
let's just start with Scary Makers and say exactly what it is, when it is, and how it works.
Okay, so Scary Makers is, we are going to use the Fabulous collection from Simple Stories. And we have 5 projects. 5 staff members have each made their own project. And you would give us a call and sign up for Teresa's over there laughing at me. I don't know what I said wrong. So you would give us a call at at 515-965-1102, or you can send us an email at email@memorybound.com, or on your web order you can put it in notes to sign up for Merry Maker or for the makers. Now if you want to just do scary makers, you can. If you want to do just Merry Makers, you can. If you want to do both, you can do that also. And what we do is that we make a kit that includes absolutely everything for you to make the 5 projects. 5 projects for scary makers, but we also give you a kit that includes absolutely everything to do the 6 projects for Merry Makers.
Now, when you say absolutely everything, it's all the components. You will probably need to have glues and adhesives,
trimmers, scissors,
and other little things for each
pen,
project. But as far as the components, that's what will be in the kit.
Thank you, Maggie, for doing that. You'll need the basics or the staples to create the project, but we'll give you the product to create the project. Is that a little bit better to say it that way?
That way people know that there will be a few things that you will need to either have or purchase to complete the project.
You can watch it, and while you're watching it on our private Facebook group, you can follow along and craft along, or maybe you just want to watch it and go back and rewatch the video another time and craft at your own pace. Or you can also, there's directions, you'll get full set of directions for every project, so maybe you want to read the directions while you're watching. So there's a variety of ways to do that. It is a private Facebook group, and it's not out for the public. Does that make sense?
Yes. So
color photos, pictures. I'm so glad you guys are back.
Scary Makers is September 11th through the 15th. There will be one class per day, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay. So like Teresa might go Monday, I would go Tuesday, Maggie goes Wednesday, Kelly goes Thursday, and our new gal, Peggy, I shouldn't say new, but new to makers, would do Friday.
And that way you could do one project, get it done,
and go, gosh, I accomplished something.
Be fresh and ready the next day. Should we show them a little bit of a...
Well, yeah.
We're going to show you a sneak preview. You're not going to get the whole thing.
So remember yesterday I said we're using the Simple Stories Fabulous, and you will not realize that what I created with my... Were you showing the floor?
Well, I thought I was going to swing over there, but that's okay. Then you started talking, so...
Imagine that. You have seen a sneak peek of my mini book. This was created with the exact same line, but I'm just going to hold it, and then you can do a little sneak thing.
So all right, we're just going to give you, the makers for Tim. You never see the whole thing, so
very carefully.
We're just going to go. There we go.
There we go. This is Maggie's project.
Are you spooked yet?
It's just part of her project.
Part of the project. We just gave you the sneak.
And you have like 3 projects you're doing.
There will be 3 things in my project, yes.
Mine's a mini book. Teresa is cards.
Interactive cards.
Interactive cards, thank you. Yeah.
And you have pretty much yours done, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Judy says she's excited for Scary and Merry.
Oh, it's just going to be, I like that it rhymes, so. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I've got that. Let's do our new stuff real quick. And it's kind of an exciting day. I have my basket of stuff.
There we go. We're ready for it.
Usually it's all laid out nicely, but
Katie, while you're rumpling through there, will any dies or stamps be included? And that's probably
I can't remember. Is there a stamp in?
You're getting a lot of product, but I can't tell you for sure what's included yet.
I can't remember. There's a stencil in Scary, but I can't remember if we're using we have a stamp. I think we might have a stamp. Maybe if Kelly is watching, she could remind us.
There might be a stamp in Merry.
Yeah. All right.
Scary and Merry.
There we go. Maggie's sitting down. I love it. All right. So here is one item that...
Come over here closer, Katie.
You sit back there and I'll come to you, girl. All right, so this is a Sizzix, and it is the Festive Dictionary. If you had this on order, we called you yesterday, or you're going to get a call today. But it is in $12.99, and this is a staff favorite. I think we got 6 in, and we sold out to staff. And we have plenty in restocked or back in to order that.
I'm going to make flashcards out of them.
Flashcards?
Yes.
Oh, Maggie, that's
I'm excited.
Good. Oh, wow. All right, another thing that came in that's quite exciting is the Etc. tiles. And Maggie, you probably, maybe, I tried to find some samples of these, but I couldn't. This one has a circle, a heart, and a house at the bottom. And to me, it looks like you can pop out all the pieces and then use them on your Etc. tags or in a project. And I'm just going to throw something out there. I wonder, Maggie, do you think you're going to use them on a tag or something?
Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
Etc. Tags are probably one of my favorite things to work with.
Oh, is
And
it?
yes, I love them. And so if they are well, I know they're just like the tags.
Yeah, they're like thick board.
Yep, they are amazing to work with. And so I'm excited about trying a few of those things out. Yes.
So these are the rectangles, 10 rectangle tiles and 10, I think, squares.
Yes. But they're the same material as the tags.
Yeah.
And paper covers them so well. You can paint them, put paper on them, sand them, ink them. They just lend themselves to a lot of things.
And then this package is they're calling these the panels. And they're
Yes.
thick too. And you get two, let's say, 8.5 by 6 panels and two basically 5 by 7, 7.25 by 4.25. So you could add a 5 by 7, 5.25, 7.25.
And another thing you can put on there is the big wide washi tape, like the 49 in Market.
Yes.
And still sand them. Kelly says all the kits are still being figured out.
Okay.
We really don't know what's going to be in everything because we haven't seen all the projects, but your kits will be fun to open because there will be a lot of parts to it. Yes.
Yeah, they are fun. And Kelly likes, and we like to kind of make them a little special. Have them opened and have little things. All right, these are square panels. These are 8.5, and these are 7.25.
Oh,
and there's
my gosh.
2 in each.
My
All
dream
of the
come
tiles-
true.
All of the tiles are $7.99. Each package is $7.99.
Okay.
So thank you, Tim, for doing that because that was an easy thing that I didn't have to remember prices. So
Very good.
yeah, they're all $7.99, and those should all be online also. I'm not going to sit there and do all that crumpling for you. All right, another exciting thing came in. This was just talked about. Oh gosh, here, should I back up? Was it just my face or just my nose?
Fine.
Was it just my
No,
nose?
you're fine.
All right, the New Horizons pack that was in Annette Green's summer project kit is available as itself, and it is $12.99. And someone asked on Monday if we were getting them, and voila, we have them by Friday.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Those packs, all of them, they're just the best paper.
All right, this is a restock. These are the stencils. They're $16.99. And it looks like it's called Journal Stencil Set 2. And I am not going to open it and do my stencil show like I did yesterday. All right, the next thing we have is Oh Christmas Tree. And this is $25.99, and Diane is using this. It has the Santa and the reindeer, which was a huge draw there. Trees.
Katie, I was
Yeah.
trying to think what the big shape was, and then at first I thought it was the state of Iowa. But then I realized that it's the page, and then on the side, that tree.
Oh, it's a Christmas tree.
The tree matches up.
Oh, and
Yes.
so this tree will match up to
Yes,
one there.
yes. But could you see how that almost looked like the state of Iowa?
Well, this way.
Yeah, you had it
Yeah.
upside.
Because it's upside. It's the other way on the back. so
Yes,
it's upside.
yes.
But anyway, stockings.
So that tree will
presents.
end up on the edge. Oh,
That's
I love it.
amazing. I really like this one.
There's a lot of
And
thought that
look at the
goes into
snowflake.
this. That's beautiful.
It's a doily, a snowflake doily for $13.99. And then this stamp is it is the Santa Claus stamp for $12.99. And then the Santa Claus die for $11.99. Just like we always say with Maggie. Maggie didn't think she needed to have dies
Oh,
until
man.
she tried it. And then what do you think, Maggie?
That is
Wow.
it is amazing.
Yes.
It just really is. It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. And look at these letters. These are the alphabet stamps, but they're kind of vintagey. $12.99 for those. And then we also did get the stamp set from the Annette Green class. It's a separate one, or you can now buy it separate, and it's called Quality Time, $12.99. And
So those are the same stamps that she uses in her class tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her class is tomorrow, isn't
Okay.
it? And then this is the die set she uses tomorrow, and it's called Summer State of Mind, and it is $25.99.
So that's kind of nice, Katie. So if you actually didn't sign up for the class, but you kind of admire the project, you could get the stamps and the dies and come up with your own.
Yeah, it's
Take
really
on
cool,
it.
isn't it? I mean, just look how much is on there. When you start looking,
Oh.
there's so many different
A lot
dies
of thought
on there.
goes into these.
It does.
A lot of time.
A lot of thought, a lot of time, and they use every bit of the steel in that middle part.
Yes, and you know what? For those of you who like frame film strips, there is another film strip on there.
Oh, see, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
And even the notebook things, the 3 rings. All right, this is, we had several of these, or no, I'm sorry, we do have several of these. Let me look here real quick in here, Maggie. All right, we have a blue one and a brown one. And these are art journals. And these are Elizabeth Craft art journals, and they are $16.99. And all it is the cover. And so you can fill it with whatever you would like, I assume. Now, if Janine was here, she would tell us exactly what we could fill it with.
Is that like that's-
Leather, almost.
Yeah,
Pleather?
pleather, but it's nice.
Isn't it
It's a
neat?
nice pleather.
Love the color, too. So it comes in royal blue, and it also comes in, I'll pull this one out real quick. These
Do you
cute
get the
little
bag,
bags.
too?
You do. The vintage brown.
Okay, that is
Isn't that
really
pretty?
nice.
I really like those. Little art journal. I think that would be fun
Yeah.
to put. Or even if you weren't going to use an art journal, but you could put traveler's notebook pieces in there, or paper in it,
Exactly.
and just use it how you would like to use it. So, all right, Maggie, I think that is all I have got. Oh, let me double check my notes here. I do want to say today, cross your fingers. I'm trying to we're going to have Echo Park in, and there's 2 Halloween, 2 falls, and 2 Christmas collections. So that is my goal for today, is to get those in.
So we
get
might be
those
seeing
out.
those tomorrow?
Yes. Well,
right.
tomorrow's Saturday. So, but check online. It will be under new, and I think I can do it.
Okay.
Yes. And another thing, guess what next week is? In a week from today, what will we be doing?
Oh,
Color Wednesday.
the
Friday.
crop.
The
The
crop.
crop.
Yes, we're getting ready for all of our crop friends to come in.
The
We're
countdown
looking
is
forward to
on,
that.
ladies.
It is. The countdown is on. It starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so we're really looking forward to seeing all of our fun crappie friends, aren't we?
Okay, Katie,
Yeah.
so Jan has mentioned that
Okay.
the dies that we showed,
Yes.
the Elizabeth Craft dies, they are wider. The big part of those are wider. They fold in half, see, and fit in that notebook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's why we love to have our very wise friends that
Yes.
use these things. So this would fold in half. The
Well,
large
I'm
piece would
not
fold
sure
in
about
half.
that one, but the one with the
tree would,
state
wouldn't
of Iowa.
The state of Iowa.
So I'm
This would fold in
assuming that maybe this would fold. You know, I don't know.
But I think it would, because even if it was too long, you could cut it a little, and then it would still
Yeah.
fit in there. And it would fit right in those.
But are there holes then?
There's not holes on that one, but it would slide right into under here.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, see? You miss a few days, you miss a lot
that's
here.
okay. And so it would fit right under there. So you can make these into little Christmas things.
I
be
see,
fun.
yes.
Little sampler.
Jennifer, the next crop after this one is in the very end of September.
Yeah, so September, the last 2 days in September, the 1st of October. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And
So-
Mary, we do wish you could come. We could have a Mary from Maine Day.
Oh my gosh, Mary from Maine. I was thinking the other day of all the Marys. Mary from Maine, most famous on our thing. Mary from Missouri, or from Mary from Missouri. Mary Perry.
We could have a Mary
from
convention.
Perry. Oh gosh,
A
wouldn't that
Mary
be-
convention.
And we are Mary Marys, like our
Oh my gosh,
MERRY.
yes.
Let
Katie,
us know.
did you
Are
know
you a
there?
Mary Mary coming to the crop?
Did you know there's such a thing as a Linda convention?
No.
Yeah, it's a
there's so
real
many
thing.
Lindas?
They meet once a year, and it's called the Linda Convention. So maybe
can
we
you
could start a Mary convention.
Mary convention. I like Mary
Yeah.
Marys.
Yeah, that
Any
would be
Mary
cute.
Marys out there? Yeah.
Lots
Give us
of Mary
Give
Marys.
us a heart. or a thumbs up or a heart.
Give us
to
a
the cross.
Mary thumbs up
There
for
you
Mary
go.
Marys.
Yes. Give us a magnificent Mary up. Okay, I should probably sign off.
Kathy, I'm sorry I missed you coming in yesterday. Katie got all the fun, huh?
Yes. Is that a new friend?
That's the one that came in yesterday.
From
Kathy?
Phoenix?
I'm assuming, yes.
Hey! Oh my gosh. And I said, just check us out once or twice and see if she'll like us. So let's give a shout out to Kathy that she is one of our new fun friends. And I hope that she likes our video today.
Mary Ann Kerr from North Carolina.
Oh,
Mary
right.
Thompson from Perry. They're all saying, they're all the Marys are getting
I
on.
love it. I want, okay. If
And then Kathy got on.
Yes, good job, Kathy. Kathy and Katie, the cooks.
Yes.
All right. Wouldn't it be fun to have, I'm a Mary?
Tori wants to know if she can come if her mom's name's Mary. Sure.
Why not? We can say my mom's name. My mom's a Mary. There you go. All right.
Okay.
Again, thank you so much for all your patience this week with us and me. And thank you again to the staff. You guys were awesome. So we're going to turn it over to Teresa. You should have just kept yours.
Oh, that's right.
That's okay. Here, I'll give you mine now.
Okay.
Are you okay doing it?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
There she is.
All right, here, I'll hold this. Okay. And Teresa is on today. And boy, look at, she has a treat for us today. I don't know. Maggie took her phone. Maggie, you're on my phone. Remember?
Yes.
Everybody's loving the Mary Convention idea.
I love it.
I love that too.
A Mary Day.
Oh my gosh, Mary Thompson.
Very
Perry.
Mary.
My maiden name is Thompson too. So we have two Mary Thompson Perrys or something.
Oh, funny.
So sorry, Teresa.
That's
Welcome
okay.
back.
Hi.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.
And now it's Maggie and Teresa.
Yes.
And we are ready. Teresa, is your middle name Mary?
No. Joe.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. First, before we get started, we're going to talk about embossing today. But first, what we're going to talk about, I'm just going to remind everyone, next Wednesday is Watercolor Wednesday. And we're going to be doing 2 Christmas panels since it's Christmas in July. This one you can make into a card, and this one I made into a tag, but you could also do a card. And we're going to be, the one thing, if you have the watercolor pencils, the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, you want to get a pencil sharpener, because that's what we're going to be using to make some new colors. And I don't have the plain. We need to print some more of these. I don't have the plain one to show you, but we still have them. So if you haven't gotten your plain panel, they don't come colored in. You do that. We have a plain one.
And so they can order that online.
Yeah, they can order that online.
Or stop in and pick one up.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yes.
Okay.
So it's not too late. It can probably still, if you order today, it can get shipped to you. I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Shipping is still good. So, okay. Well, today people have asked about embossing, and I know some of you have already embossed and hold hats, and so you can probably just skip this part of the video if you want to. But I think I always learn something new. And part of the reason that we're doing this now is because Tim came out with 12 new colors of embossing glaze. And so we're going to talk about what embossing is, how you do it, what you need, and the difference between Tim's embossing glaze and other embossing powders. I have my little notebook that Gloria gave us, and I have some notes because I want to make sure that you don't have to zoom in on my notes.
No, but I just think
My
the
cute little
notebook was
notebook,
so
yes,
stinking cute.
I love it. Thank you again, Gloria. But I don't want to forget some things. And, I use the inspector stamp set to stamp and emboss all my stuff. If I would have known that I was going to do it in Christmas week, I would have made a Christmas tag like I did here. But we'll talk about this one later. But that's what I used, is the inspector. You guys know that I love this. And I thought it was a fun way to show you some images that are solid and some that are more sketchy. I don't know how to, what would you say, Maggie? Like the heart is a solid image.
Right.
Then the face has parts that are just see-through, and I don't know what to say.
I know what you're saying. That was a perfect stamp to show that.
Yeah. So there's a variety of images on there, and we're going to stamp some more and emboss some more as we go. But so probably I want to tell you the first thing that you need is the right kind of ink. And you're going to need a pigment ink or a wet ink. I use the Versamark stamp pad. Those are $8.19, but Tim Holtz has a distress one for $6.99. Ranger has one for $5.99. The other thing, you can use any kind of pigment ink. So I also, on a lot of the things I use today, I use my oxide. I feel like the regular distress inks dry too quickly. A lot of times when you have a pigment ink, you see how the pad is soft and mushy. That's what you're going to get with a pigment ink. The oxides are kind of soft compared to, you see how wet that is? You want a wet ink compared to the regular distress inks. So normally the ink pads are soft. So you're going to need an ink pad. Then you're going to need your handlets. Not really, but it's a good thing.
My little toaster hands.
To have. When these came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love, love, love these. So you'll need something. You could probably use a clothespin, but these are so much more fun to use.
Yes, they're so cute.
To use to hold.
And how much are those? They are just so inexpensive that you've got to have it.
It's a good $3.49.
$3.49.
And then you're going to need a heat gun.
Gotta show these little hands. Aren't they just the cutest little things?
We have in stock the Sizzix heat gun that's $31.99, and they last forever. Look, mine is I thought it was a Sizzix. I don't even know. Though it's worn off. I've had it for so long. It's a good investment. You know, you have to have the right tool for the right job. You cannot use a hair dryer. Don't use your toaster or your gas oven, grill, top, whatever. This is the right temperature to melt the powders. And so,
and Teresa, some people always have a question, what's the difference between a heat tool and an embossing gun?
right.
You have a heat tool and then you have an embossing gun, and sometimes they can be interchangeable.
Yeah.
But sometimes they can't.
Yeah, we carry one from Ranger that Tim Holtz has, and his is more of like something you can use to dry things, like when we're smooshing and we want to dry it in between colors. You can still use it to emboss. It's just going to take longer because it's not quite as an intense of a heat. So I guess this is a heat tool is what they call it, but you can use it on shrink.
More focused heat.
Yeah. Cures embossing powders, shrink plastic, you can use it. It says there's 2 speeds. So anyhow, it's used to melt the powder. And then you need some powder. And you just want to pan over the 12 new colors, Maggie.
Yes,
they are
so
beautiful
pretty
and bright. And it's very exciting to get new colors. So actually the embossing powder is actually ground up plastic that you melt, and then it stays on your paper.
So these are a lot of the colors I just showed the jars of, right?
Yeah, well this is Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm going to be telling you about the difference between.
Okay.
Kitsch is an older color.
So it's ground up plastic, so when
Yeah.
you use that heat tool, it actually is just melting
Right,
the plastic.
I think it's like 400 degrees, or I don't know what it is, but it's your heat gun is a very specific temperature that it's going to melt that, not burn your paper unless you just hold it on your paper. You want to keep it moving. That's why other things like a hairdryer isn't going to work. It's not going to get hot enough. It'll just blow the powder away.
And that is important to tell people, because if you do not keep that heat tool moving, you can
Scorch.
Yes, a scorch. I was going to say start a fire, but you can scorch your embossing powder.
Yes. So then there's other optional things. Tim Holtz has a storage tin, and this one you can use for the crayons, the glazes, and other things. And you can see this is mine, and I've got my glazes in there to keep them organized.
I don't want to interrupt you, but
Yep.
We need to know where the new Square Elizabeth Craft art journals are online.
Okay.
So hopefully
Janet will link it.
Okay.
Another item that you might want to get is one of these, it's called embossing powder. Well, they call this prep, but there's other names for it. And it's a little bag with powder in it. So when you emboss and you're touching your paper, there's oil on your skin or static in the air. So you'll stamp it, then you'll pour the powder, and sometimes the powder will stick to places that you don't want it. If you use this embossing buddy, that's what some people call it, then it's going to take the stick off of your paper. So I'll show you how that works a little bit later. All right, are we doing okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm doing all right. Okay, I was just going to show you the difference between the glazes and the embossing powder. Because with embossing powder, you also have a variety of colors, but there is a clear, there's gold and silver, which are fun, there's white and black. These are kind of the basics, and a lot of times I'll recommend to people, if they have a lot of inks, I'll recommend that they start with a clear embossing powder and then go from there. But if you know there's a color that you really like I like green, I already have 2 green embossing powders, and I might have to get Rustic Wilderness that just came out because I'm a real green person and I like to emboss. So what embossing does is it gives it kind of a shiny texture and makes your stamped image pop, and it's really fun. And sometimes you need that just for it to show on your paper, and sometimes it's just fun to do. So, all right, so I'm going to start with these, and I did them all the same so you could kind of tell the difference, okay? So this first one I'm showing you, I used clear embossing ink. I'm just going to get this out. And my Kitsch Flamingo glaze. This one, I used the Kitsch Flamingo ink and the glaze. So can you see the difference there?
Wow.
So it does make a difference on the ink that you use. If you want it more intense, then you're going to use the same color of ink that you use in the glaze. But oftentimes I will just use the regular old plain clear embossing glaze.
Great idea. That's a big difference.
Yeah. Then I thought I would show you
I'm trying to show them a little bit of that.
the shine.
The shine to it. There it is. Okay. Okay.
So the other thing about embossing is you can do it on darker colors. And so here is the clear embossing ink and Kitsch Flamingo. So I just wanted you to see. It also depends on the paper that you use, how your embossing ink or your embossing glaze is going to show up. Now I'm using these Dina Wakley tags, right? Dina Wakley tags, because they're nice and thick. And when I emboss, I usually like to use a heavier piece of paper because when you emboss, you're melting the glaze onto your paper. And so it's going to react differently based on the paper that you use.
Who would have guessed that that was Kitsch Flamingo and just by using it on craft?
Yeah, a totally different look.
Wow.
So there's lots of looks that you can get. Now, the other thing is the glazes are translucent, which means you can kind of see through them, like transparent, translucent. So I've put a piece of paper on my tag, and then I stamped the image. And this I used, again, the clear embossing powder and the Kitsch Flamingo. But up here at the top, I also used one of the daubers. And a dauber is another tool. This is embossing, this is an ink in a, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's an embossing
but it's without
ink,
a pad.
but it's without a pad. It's glycerin based, so it's real liquidy. So we have the Ranger and we have the Tim Holtz kind. There's two kinds. Tim says his is maybe a little thicker. I haven't really noticed. I've just had this one. Once you buy it, you'll have it forever, just like an ink pad.
So instead of having a stamp pad, you have a dauber.
Yes.
So if you want to cover like a large surface,
Yep.
You can use that. It's got like a foam pad at the top,
Yes,
doesn't
and
it?
we'll show that. But I wanted to show what it looks like, how you can see that it's translucent. Do you see how you can see through it? Can you see the paper through
so
the
she
ink?
had the paper and then she embossed over it, and you can still see what's underneath.
Yeah. Seems like there was
love that.
something else I was going to say about that one. I think I'm good. Then the last one I did, do you see how this looks a little bit different? I'm just going to hold this one up. So this one, I used the fossilized ink and the Kitsch Flamingo powder.
Oh, wow.
So you can see the different look. Remember I said it depends on the ink that you used, what you get. So you kind of have to play with it.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a fun way. It's kind of a peachy color.
It
turned
is.
out.
Who
I
would've guessed?
I wouldn't have. I was surprised. I'm like, okay, I have to show this. So again, this is with
Love that.
the
So you could
oxide.
experiment with any color
Yes.
using the same glaze, but just using different color ink.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
So it's
I agree,
really fun.
Diane. Diane says, dang.
Dang. Oh,
I
I like
had a
that.
little twang on there, Diane.
Okay, so that's kind of my first set of tags. I have a lot of tags, you guys. I hope you don't get tired of the inspector. Here's my next set of tags that I'm going to show you. So here is just a black soot archival ink that I stamped with the image.
So that hasn't
So
been
this
glazed
hasn't
or
been
anything.
glazed. It's just smooth. So you can see how dull it is. I guess I'm going to say it's just a stamped image, which is fine. But here is the same image with clear embossing ink and black embossing powder. And can you see the difference? Do you see how it pops?
I'm trying to get some of that shine there. Wow. Who would have guessed?
Then this third one is clear embossing ink and black embossing powder on top of the paper. And then again, I use the dauber at the top just to swipe to show you that this is a regular embossing powder and you cannot see through it. So remember, this one was with the glazes, Tim's glaze. This one is with regular embossing powder. So this one's opaque. You're not going to see through into your paper.
And I think that's one of the biggest points about the glazes is the
Right.
fact that you can see through
Right,
them.
and I really like that.
I do too.
Sometimes I want a solid image. I don't want to see what's behind when I'm stamping on my paper. But sometimes I really like that paper and I want to show it off.
Wow.
All right. So that's my next set of tags. And if you come into the store, I've got them all labeled on the back. If you're asking, how do I remember what I did? I had to label it. So you're going to be able to look at these, okay? And then I should show this. So anytime that we have a lot of the colors, this one I use the, can't even remember, entomology, I think maybe. And I use the dauber so you can see all the colors. I don't have all the new colors done. But I did do, this is one of the new colors. This is peacock feathers. and they're all labeled. So if you have a color that you think you want and you're in the store, sorry for you gals that are far away, we've got all these colors, and we have a lot of these colors in the store. Of course, we've got the new colors, but I don't have all of those for
And you can make your own swatches.
Yes.
And Teresa, you do a nice job on your swatches, all with one stamp. You're seeing how it looks on a white, how it looks on a pattern piece of paper, how it looks using the dauber. So everything is on that one swatch.
Yeah.
So you can use a favorite stamp and make your own swatches.
Yeah, and you could do a smaller tag, but it's nice just to use the same stamp over and over again. I do that anytime there's a new ink color. I stamp a flower with it and have that labeled so that when I'm looking at my inks, I can look at my swatch and go, oh, that's the color I want right there. So it's nice to be able to see that. All right. Then this tag I wanted to do and show you.
He's a little spooky.
Yeah, this was white. This is regular embossing powder. I just wanted to show you, I've talked a lot about the glazes, but I wanted to show you the regular embossing powder. And so this is a white on a craft. I didn't do it on the white because then you can't see it very well. But white is nice. It's a little bit tricky sometimes because you can get little pieces here and there, but
reminds me of a film strip, the negative part.
Yeah, so this is what the white looks like. And then here's a silver. I just wanted to show you. And the silver, you know, and the gold. I didn't do a gold one. I thought maybe I might do one today. The silver and the white and the gold kind of stick other places more, so it's definitely a time that you want to use the embossing buddy. And I don't use it every time I heat emboss, but when I use white, silver, or gold, I always use it because it just seems like those pieces get staticky other places. So that's a silver one. Now this one is a clear embossing powder and a clear ink on a craft. So when you use a clear embossing ink, in any of these inks that we have, it's going to be like a watermark. And so if this was a navy piece of paper, it's just going to be a shade darker. So that's why I always encourage people to get the clear, because if you don't know what color you want, just use clear and that'll make your stamp pop. If I just stamp this on here, you're not going to see it very well with a clear ink. And then the last one I did is a clear embossing powder and a clear ink. Now I know you can't see it very well.
I was expecting you to turn it around. I thought I was seeing the shadow.
No. What I thought I would do is just show you. So I've got my kit and I'm going to just put some ink on there. And we'll see if it works. It's got the embossing. I embossed it. I'm just inking. It's not really showing, is it? There we go. Here we go. I needed to get more ink on. This is a new dauber, so it wasn't going like I wanted it to.
Ooh, that's a spooky look.
So here, can you see the heart?
So anywhere that has the embossing glaze on it is going to resist.
Yep. So like the heart resisted, the word handmade resisted, and his face area resisted. Now I could do one other thing to make it pop a little more. Let's see if I just spray it with some water and then just wipe a little. Oh, that didn't work quite as well, but you can see the embossing part pops a little bit more, so you can see.
That's an interesting
I should have used a dauber that. I'm going to go back over the heart. The heart shows the best. So that's where my embossing powder is, my clear.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's another fun thing that you can do.
Shannon has an idea. You can use a brayer to apply the ink. It's a nice look.
You sure can. All right, let me check my notes just
While
a
she's
second.
checking her notes, I'm going to go back over here and show you the new colors. And I always like knowing what color they are. This is aged mahogany. This is abandoned coral. Spiced marmalade. That's such a pretty orange. Squeezed lemonade. Yep. And crushed olive. That's a beautiful green. Do you have that green, Teresa?
Not yet.
Bundled sage. Oh, you have 3 nice greens to choose from.
I know. I already have
Mowed
2.
lawn. And then we have mermaid lagoon. Peacock feathers. Seedless preserves. These are all the new colors that are available. I'm getting this one. This one is the pumice stone. Yes, that's the one I'm getting for sure. And the last one is chipped sapphire. So just wanted to share with you all the new colors while she was getting ready.
All right. So, you know, just embossing on your card or your scrapbook page or whatever is great, but there's other things that you can do. You know, earlier, Maggie, we were talking about the dauber and what would you use that for. And again, if you can make patterns with it, again, it's a glycerin. It just comes off with a little dauber. But here you can see that I just took the dauber and I went over my white paper and then I poured my powder and I heated it and melted it. So I had a big swatch, and then I made, I die cut letters out of my name tag here.
Oh my gosh. I wondered what those shapes were.
So yeah, the red on the candy cane and my name are from this. So you can die cut it so it can match, your image can match your Tim Holtz inks if you're making a card or something and you want it to match.
Okay, got to get a
So
closer look at this.
That color is fire brick.
I see what you're saying. I couldn't quite figure out. So basically, you had this piece of paper
Yes.
on an adhesive sheet.
We'll just show you.
And then now she can make her letters.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite figure
Yeah.
out where we were going.
There's the piece of the candy cane that I die cut out.
Okay. I couldn't figure out how you got
It started
those.
out as a white piece of paper.
Okay.
I put my embossing ink on there. I poured my powder. I heated it, and then I die cut.
So you made your own paper to
I made
cut
my
from.
own paper, and
can
I wanted
custom
it to
design
be.
it.
I wanted it to be shiny on my name
Yes,
tag.
I love it.
Another.
I thought those looked like hieroglyphics, and I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. I
Those are
did
some
not see it as letters first.
Skinny letters. That's from the wood slice set.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is you can use it on metal. I didn't do a metal piece today, or you can do it on chipboard. These are from last year, the Christmas, you know, he had Christmas words, and it just started out white in the background. And so I just took my dauber and put that on, put the powder. Then I did use my handle it to hold it, and then heat it and melt the plastic.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hold it with those little fingers.
Yeah. So that's another thing that you can use to do the dauber. Another thing that I mentioned that you could also use is there's a pen. And we do have a Versamark pen, and it has a tip, a brush tip, and a pen tip. And there are a variety of those too. Tim has one that has 2 separate pens. One is a brush and one is a smaller one.
Bullet tip and
yeah.
brush tip. And it's a clear. And you get 2 for $5.99.
Maybe we should heat emboss something. I've been talking
Yes,
a lot.
I think that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, so this is one of Tim's what, old photos, or what do they call it, Maggie? Is that what they call it?
He's got many different names.
I should have pulled the plain one. Should I ring the bell?
Maybe Katie can run it over.
I know.
We need a package of Tim's old photos.
Just anything, it doesn't matter. So what I did is I colorized it, and I have a photo of me when I'm young that was colorized, and I love it. And so this to me is just like the coolest, funnest thing you could ever do.
Teresa, we have a package of those open. Would you like to show one?
Well, I can do it on here.
Okay.
I'll do more on here. So you can see this is how they start out, is just plain.
These are a great package. They're old photos and they're dated. And what are they? Some of them are dated. What are they called?
Snapshots.
Okay, I want to show. I've used these. I love this particular package. You just get groups.
Oh,
of
that's
people.
volume 1 probably. And then he made smaller ones, volume 2. And then this one is called Photomatic, and it's all people.
Yes, and they're just kind of funky faces.
And so you could color whatever you want on there.
But this is one of my favorite photos in that pack. And couldn't you see, Teresa, couldn't you see coloring her shirt?
Yeah,
and making
or the
his
skirt.
plaid.
Or the skirt. I would color the skirt pink.
Okay, let's see how it's done.
So on here I did the blue, the yellow, that's vintage photo, and the green is peeled paint. Of course, I have peeled paint. But we will just take the pen, and so let's see. I can't do it upside down, sorry. How about let's do this guy's pants. Ooh, he's gonna have red pants. So I'm just using the marker to color. I'm gonna go around his hand. I'm just coloring in his pants. So I'm just putting down the ink. So you can write with this or color in areas. Then I'm going to use the new aged mahogany, and I'm just going to pour the powder on there. So you can see there's the powder. Oh, this is going to be fun.
This looks like the vintage look from last week. The colors.
Yeah, I really liked it. The colors that he has now are much brighter. And I'm just heating up the heat gun. Usually I let it run for just a second. I know.
And Teresa's like me. She tends to leave her her embossing stuff really close, and you don't want to do that.
All right, we'll see if you can see it.
Oops,
So did you see it change? And you don't want to do it too long with the glaze, because if you heat it too long, then the glaze will melt into the paper. So you want it to be shiny like that. Ooh,
I love it.
I love the red pants, don't you?
Yes.
That's so fun. I can't wait to use aged mahogany some more. This is a new color, one of the new colors.
That was fun to watch, wasn't it?
So I'm very excited about the new colors.
Can we do one more of that lady's coat? Just for fun. I liked watching that.
Which lady?
The lady with the coat in the middle by red pants.
Okay.
Okay, so she's putting the embossing ink by using an embossing pen.
And you know, I'm not being perfect about it, but I'm going to go this little spot here.
Okay.
And as I tilt it here in person, I can see, you guys I know can't see on camera, but I can see that I've covered her.
What color are we using?
This is one of the new colors. Now I got some on the other lady. It's called Peacock Feathers.
Okay.
And I should have brought a little paintbrush, because for some reason it's stuck on my yellow and I don't want it to go in there.
Okay.
Over here.
The fingers. Okay, this one too. You can see it melting. Oh my gosh. So cool.
Yeah, that didn't take very long because it's a small area and my heat gun's going.
Okay.
Oh, isn't that fun?
I love it.
I was
Look
so
at
excited.
This colorful bunch.
I know. And you know you know, he's coming out with some new Halloween stuff, and they're going to have, what are those cutouts called, Maggie? Or the you know what I'm talking about, the paper dolls.
Oh, the paper dolls.
You can do the same thing with the paper dolls because they're heavier paper, and it's going to be super cool.
And there again, you don't want to overheat because you can over melt these. Oh, I love that. Thanks for showing us.
All right, now I'm just going to stamp an image. And I was going to show, what should I show? Should I do the gold just to show
Yes.
what a gold looks like? And so,
Don't forget to use your buddy.
oh yeah. So I'm just going to swipe lightly over it. You don't want to like pounce on it. You just need to swipe and that'll be fine. Thanks for reminding. I always forget. And then after I did it, I'm like, ah! So I'm just making, my stamp came off. Making sure that I've got his face all inked up.
And you're using the Versamark
Yep.
embossing ink.
And you kind of, it's time sensitive. You don't want to mess around too much because you don't want your ink to dry, okay? So once you get it, you really want to, usually I have my powder open. I didn't there. And you just dump it on. It drives me crazy when people are like, oh, put some powder. No, just dump it on. I just use a coffee filter. You can use a piece of paper or whatever. And I think I missed a little spot there, so you can pour it back over if you think you missed a little
Sometimes
spot.
what I like to do is after I dump it on, I just let it sit for just a few seconds before I dump it off.
Yeah,
And I feel like it gets a little better coverage.
I missed a little spot on the heart, but maybe I
That's
can go
okay.
back and fix it.
It's distressed.
Yep. Moving stuff out of the way. All right, this one you're really going to be able to see the how it changes when you emboss. There, is it going?
Not seeing it yet.
Sorry, my hands are so close to the end of the, there we go. Did you see that?
Yes.
Watch his hat go.
It's like magic.
It is, it's fun.
That's cool. I love the gold.
I think I got it all. You can kind of look. Then before you touch it, I don't know about that ear. It looks like I might have it.
Shannon, I'm not sure. Maggie, the magic hand removing the open embossing powder and filter. Oh, my hand. I didn't want her to melt it. I love that gold.
Yeah,
Such a
isn't
cool
it
look.
pretty?
Okay, there's a question, Teresa. You know, you showed how to take some of Tim Holt's snapshots,
Yes.
and you showed how you could colorize them. But you know, you've got a whole package of these. What would you do? What do you do with them? What do you do with the photos after you've colorized them, or even before? You know, how do you use them?
Well, you can put them on projects. I've seen all kinds of projects where people just put old photos, like in a collage, in a mixed media project generally.
Steve says, I did one with a paper doll that had a flag. I used the red, white, and blue on the flag, and it turned out fantastic. So you can use it on any project that you want to add just a fun photo with. But it's also fun to use your own photos, too, and you can do that, too. But as Amber says, they're fun to make for snarky or fun cards.
Oh, yes.
Too. And he's got some snarky comments, the stickers.
The stickers, yes.
Yes.
The labels. Mm-hmm.
We'll have to. Hello. Can you ring the bell and I'll have them get some snarky comments.
All right. Once I figured out that I was doing Christmas, doing the embossing during the week of Christmas, then I did make a Christmas tag. And this is with the stamp set
Comment stickers.
Festive Collage. It was from last year, and it's a real pretty stamp set. So what I wanted to show you with this one is how you can do different colors. And so you can see what I did here is I stamped my image, and then I just took the powder and I just sprinkled it on. Now what happens then is you end up mixing colors. So I sprinkled some red, what did I sprinkle? I sprinkled fire brick, and then I had a little bit of rustic wilderness and peeled paint. And I just sprinkled it. And what happened is I ended up with a little pile of mixed colors. And so then what I did is I just went like this, and I mixed them all together on purpose.
Nice.
And then I stamped another image, and I poured it up here. And if you probably can't see, but I can see it, that there's a little bit of red in there and a little bit of green, and it's all mixed together.
That makes a real artsy look.
Yeah.
I like that. It looks like we might be out of some of the snarky comment stickers, but I think we are getting more in. Steve had a great idea. You know what? The customers are coming up with the best ideas.
Good.
Steve said he used one for a tag for the 4th of July.
Oh,
that one that
yeah.
he colored in red, white, and blue.
Oh, that would be
so
fun.
you can just use them in fun places.
Yeah.
Just for a fun, extra little tag. And you don't have to use your own photos, right?
Yeah. Nope. Or you could photocopy a photo and play around with that. The other thing I do want to mention is you can see on the white and the clear, one thing I recommend is marking the tops of your jars because it's real easy to think that you're grabbing the clear and you get white, or white and clear, because they look very similar. So I always label mine. I know
Great
some
idea.
people that from Tim's World have put colors on the top of theirs. I think I just store mine upside down, but
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, having a label on the top would make life easier.
For the clear and white, because I always try and get the wrong one.
Especially if you have to try to find the name of that.
Yeah, his
fire
old
brick.
jars, you can see his old jars, the labels suck because you can't read. I'll just say it. The new jars, he has put the words in white, so you can read it.
Makes a difference.
Yes, he changed it. So sometimes I have to like squint and be like, what color is it? Oh yeah, fire brick. So if I had a color on top already melted, and you know, it does look different from the jar. You know, this is the flamingo, and that looks pretty close on there, but that looks a lot different. So, you know, you just have to play.
On vellum paper.
You can. You need to be very careful that you don't burn your paper. And sometimes what happens is then your paper gets all wonky because, you know, paper doesn't have memory. And when you heat it, it kind of goes wonky. That's what I say when you have to play with different papers and see what you like. I generally like, the tags are a lot thicker paper, and so they take the ink and the powder a lot better, and they're not, they don't get all wavy from the heat gun, which can sometimes happen. But you can just, use a lot of adhesive on the back and glue it down really strong if you get a little bit of a wave, or press it with some books.
Teresa mentioned a couple different pens that she uses, and I'm going to show those again. This is one that she used, the Versamark,
right?
And that's got a brush tip and a bullet tip.
Yep.
And then Tim Holtz has a package of 2, and it's clear, and it's got a bullet tip and a brush tip, and that's $5.99, I believe. And the Versamark is $3.49 for one. but they're great for colorizing photos, as we saw her do in this photo.
Yeah.
And you can do your own photos too. Okay.
Are there any other questions? Or do they
You're
want me
getting
to...
a lot of compliments on your tips. Lots of tips today.
Any other, do they want to emboss another thing, or are we good? Do they want to see a glaze maybe? Maybe I should do a glaze.
Okay, let's try it.
So I'll just do this guy again so you can kind of see. They pretty much emboss the same way. The powders do.
Whenever anybody says, well, how are they different than regular embossing powders? I always say, well, regular embossing powders are pretty opaque. Tim Holtz glazes are translucent, which means you can pretty much see through it. So anything that you have behind that glaze is going to show up. For example, if you have even if you've inked something, let's say around the edges, and you put a glaze over it, you're going to be able to see that you inked underneath there.
See,
Ooh, what color are you using?
this is the new age mahogany, and I was very
beautiful.
excited. I got a little bit there. I should have.
And that's where a paintbrush comes in.
Yeah, a
handy, doesn't it?
paintbrush.
Is the Christmas tag powder? That is, you use the glazes, right?
Yes, I use the
Yeah,
glazes.
she uses the glaze, and she just showed how she kind of mixed some up.
Maybe I should have done that on there. I didn't think about it.
Okay, here we go. This is fun to watch.
Is it going?
Not quite yet. There it comes.
There.
There it comes. It's always the magic. You can see it melting. And sometimes if you can't, if it's real faint, you might not be able to see it changing. So sometimes after it's done, I kind of rub my finger over it, and you can tell if it's melted or not.
Yeah. The other thing, the nice thing about the handle, if you hold it up, then the heat is going to go through, versus sometimes people will try and hold it and heat it this way. So if you hold it up, then it goes a little bit faster because the heat goes through and melts the plastic.
That's a good idea.
But ooh, isn't that aged mahogany pretty?
It's a beautiful color.
Yeah. There's the just kind of a comparison. This is the fire brick, the red, and that's the aged mahogany. Yeah. Which one? Oh, here's all the reds. Yeah, so that's going to be
People
a
forget
nice,
about that aged mahogany. It's a
I
very
like it.
deep, rich red.
Yeah. I use it for Ankeny schools and for Iowa State colors.
Dowling.
A lot, yes,
Would use
yes. So those are the reds. There's probably maybe more. I just don't have them all.
Getting lots of compliments on your little hands. Those are, it's called Handle It.
Yep.
And I will show you. This is what they are. And they're pretty inexpensive when you consider that they save your little burned fingers.
Yes.
And
it also is, it's nice, like I said, when I did the smaller piece, just to hold on to it.
yes.
When you have something like that, when you're not necessarily doing a piece of paper, it's nice to have that too.
And this is the stamp that she used. It's called the Inspector. And it is $24.99, and you get all those different stamps. She used we call it the Buddy, embossing powder prep.
Yeah, and on our website, we have a couple different brands. They're all pretty much the same.
And if you want to, if you did invest into the distress glazes, you might want to get a distress storage tin.
Yeah, it's nice
to
to keep them
store them.
organized so you don't lose them.
And the inks, the embossing inks were Versamark, Ranger, and then the distress, and then also the pens, and then also the dauber. So she had lots and lots of choices. I believe, Teresa, doesn't this come in gray too?
They've discontinued the
they
gray.
have. Darn.
I think we have one left, so I didn't really.
Okay.
That's why I
I
didn't
kinda
show
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, if there's no questions,
You're getting lots of hearts for
good.
Thanks for all the great ideas. And now you've got me included into getting out my embossing powders. And
it's fun to play with.
Yes.
Definitely. So, and then we will have Katie on Monday. Katie is doing a mini book, Happy Crafter mini book. Oh.
something to
She's
look
getting
forward
ready
to.
for the crop, I think.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you,
Okay.
Teresa. Tons of info today.
Yep.
And we will see you on Happy crafting.